Ladies and gentlemen, from the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace and Justice, Deacon Gerald Celente.
Hello, everybody. This is Deacon Gerald Celente of the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace, and Justice. And three elements of life that are stolen from us continually. So sad what's going on. And of course, the Israeli war is among them, as is the Ukraine war. And on Friday, UN's top court orders Israel to halt military offensive in Rafah. This is reported by CNBC. The UN's top court, the International Court of Justice. Oh yeah, justice, huh? Freedom, peace, and justice. On Friday, ordered Israel to cease its military operation in Rafah. Quote, Israel must immediately halt its military offensive and any other action in Rafah, which may inflict on Palestinian group in Gaza conditions of life that could bring about physical destruction in whole or in part. Israel must take effective measures to ensure the unimpeded access to the Gaza Strip of any commission of inquiry, fact-finding missions, or other investigative body mandated by competent order of the United Nations to investigate allegations of genocide. Not allegations of genocide, genocide by definition. Again, I've noted this time and time again, and will continue to note it. By its definition, genocide, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, the deliberate and systematic destruction of a group of people because of their ethnicity, nationality, religion, or race. Yep. Because we had Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, speaking at Harvard, saying the Gaza waterfront could be very valuable. Quote, it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there. A little bit of an unfortunate situation, huh? Over 1 million people have been displaced. Approximately 40% of Gaza's population in the past 2 weeks. That's according to the United Nations. And Israel has ordered the people to leave Rafah. To leave Rafah. So, Jared Kushner, a little bit of an unfortunate situation, over 40,000 dead. But from Israel's perspective, who is he to talk about Israel's perspective? Oh, I forgot. He's Trump's son-in-law. I would do my best to move the people out of there and clean it up. Genocide, where's the condemnation? Oh, I forgot he's Trump's son-in-law. The Trump that got $100 million from Sheldon Adelson to move the embassy from Tel Aviv, the United States Embassy, to Jerusalem. The Trump that told Israel, yeah, you know that land that you stole from Syria and the Golanites, it's yours. Yeah. Yep. In addition, I would just bulldoze something in the Negev and put the Palestinian people in the desert. Isn't that nice? Genocide by definition. Flattened buildings, widespread destruction. This is what Israel's limited operation in Rafah looks like. This is from Haaretz, the Israeli newspaper that we subscribe to, showing photos of the deep destruction. Yep. Haaretz examined the satellite images which show near total destruction in wide areas. Some 40% of the buildings in Rafah have been damaged or destroyed. Just keeps going on. Genocide. So now, as to the International Court of Justice, Israel has responded. This is according to the Jerusalem Post. Rafah Op doesn't contradict ICJ ruling. We will continue, Israel says. The IDF intends to push on with its military operation in Rafah to defeat Hamas. They keep saying this over and over. That's like the United States bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki to defeat Japan. That's like the English in the United States leveling Dresden in World War II. It was just populated by people to defeat the Germans. They keep selling this lying, warmongering narrative that they're bombing the place into ruins because Hamas is living in every one of those houses, in every one of those churches and mosques, in every one of those hospitals, in every apartment building. So we got to level the whole place to get Hamas out of there. Where is the outrage? And where are the religions of the world that pretend to believe in God? What do you all got, lockjaw? Or you're all a bunch of cowards? Where are you? How come you're not out there for peace and to stop the slaughter of Palestinians? Or Palestinian lives don't matter? Could you imagine if the people in Gaza were Jewish and the Palestinians were doing this to the Jews? Oh my God, how terrible. They're only Palestinians. They don't count. Disgusting. The state of Israel is committed to continue fighting to return its hostages and promises the security of its citizens wherever and whenever necessary, including Rafah, said Benny Boy Gantz. That's what he told little Anthony Blinken, the clown boy coward, who's the Secretary of State in what used to be called the United States. Now it's the USSA, the United Soviet States of America, where freedom is banished. Yep. Gantz is both a former defense minister and IDF chief of staff. Oh, yeah, a guy that loves to kill people. Both in his statement to the public and his conversation with Blinken, he stressed the importance of continuing the campaign to defeat Hamas. Yep. You got it. Israel will continue. Yep. And the last week, the ICC, the International Court of Justice, said that, it was on Monday, ICC's chief prosecutor accused Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Gallant, as well as Hamas leaders, of, quote, war crimes and crimes against humanity. Let me be clear, contrary to allegations against Israel made by International Court of Justice, what's happening is not genocide, said Genocide Joe Biden. The warmonger who loved the war, every war that he's been in office, sucking off the public tit for some 60 years plus. Every war, a draft dodger, 5 draft deferments in the Vietnam War. He's 3.5 years older than me. 5, but he loves war. Genocide by definition, but denied. We stand with Israel to take out Sinwar, that's the Hamas guy, and the rest of the butchers of Hamas. How about the butchers of Israel? What did Hamas kill allegedly? 1,112 people? And Israel's now over 40,000 and destroyed the Gaza Strip? Who are the butchers? Biden? Who are the butchers? Israel. Oh, in the United States, you butchered a lot of people. Yeah. Although you hated the Vietnam War, you supported it. Because you hated getting drafted, I should say, but you supported the war, of which we only killed over 3 million Vietnamese. Yep. On October 7th, Hamas fighters carried out an incursion into Israel, which resulted in about 1,200 people being killed and 250 hostages taken. Then, if you go to Haaretz, you will see that the Israelis killed a lot of those people with their helicopters, firing at the people, running away with Hamas, Hamas was capturing, with the Israeli tank blowing up the kibbutz where Israeli people were in. Oh, but we won't talk about that. You're not allowed to. Yep. We stand with Israel. Isn't that nice? Again, genocide. We must settle Gaza now. Netanyahu ministers join Israeli far right, march to Gaza. Again, repeating what we've said before. Thousands of Israelis earlier this month joined far right Independence Day march led by Jewish activists advocating for resettling Gaza and forcing Palestinians to leave the enclave. Haaretz. Genocide by definition. And then in the United States, you're prohibited to protest if you're a college student. You're beaten up by the cops, ravaged. Again, you could go to our Trends Journal. We write about it week after week after week. And this week, Harvard graduates stage commencement walkout over Gaza. There's one of our, it's Kent State 2.0. It's the stormtroopers are beating and killing protesters for peace. They'll do anything they want. Hundreds of graduates walked out of the commencement ceremony at Harvard University, calling for an end of the war in Gaza and decrying the disqualification of students involved in earlier protests. A day earlier, it was announced that 13 students who participated in pro-Palestinian encampment on campus would not be allowed to receive their diplomas. Is that nice? This is America that brings freedom and democracy to all these countries. According to the Associated Press, groups of students walked out of the commencement chanting, "Free, free Palestine. Let them walk, let them walk," in reference to the graduates barred from participating in the ceremony. One of the speakers, Shruti Kamar, said to Applause, "This semester, our freedom of speech and our expression of solidarity became punishable." I am deeply disappointed by the intolerance for freedom of speech and the right for civil disobedience on campus. Some 3,000 people have been arrested or detained at colleges and universities and American campuses since April 18th. And the police officers have become nothing more than stormtroopers. University of Michigan police violently clear anti-genocide encampment. This is from the World Socialist website. Early Tuesday morning, dozens of riot cops with the University of Michigan and Michigan State Police violently cleared out the Ann Arbor Gaza Solidarity encampment, beating the hell out of people. Berlin police assault students. This is again World Socialist website. Occupying Humboldt University to protest against genocide. On Wednesday, dozens of students occupied Humboldt University's Department of Social Science to protest against genocide in Gaza. Yep. The sit-in blockade by supporters in front of the entrance of the Institute was broken up beforehand with brutal force, and activists were taken away one by one. The actions of Berlin police, who had already brutally dispersed the earlier protest camp at HU and another at the Free University, are reminiscent of the darkest times in German history. Nazi-like police in Berlin attacked today Humboldt University students, many of them Jewish, who were protesting the Gaza genocide. And this is from the New York Times on Friday. GOP calls on schools to discipline protesters. House Republicans used words like violence, hijacking, chaos. They asked the university leaders why so few protesters have been suspended. Yep. At the third congressional hearing with college presidents on Thursday, Republicans sharply questioned them about pro-Palestinian encampments. This is disgusting. And the language that comes out from these little clown girls and boys about the protesters is disgusting. Yep. Each of you should be ashamed of your decision that allowed anti-Semitic encampments to endanger Jewish students. Representative Virginia Fox, Republican of North Carolina, and chairwoman of the committee, told the leaders of the colleges. Yeah. It's not anti-Semitism. That's a total lie. Jewish people are opposed to this, and they're not Semites that are living, or running, I should say, Israel. They're Ashkenazi Jews. Yep. Ashkenazi, N-A-Z-I, Ashkenazi. Ashkenazis from northeastern Turkey, the Khazars. They didn't convert to Judaism until like the 1300s. So I guess they're kind of like evangelical Christians, a little bit on the radical side. They're not Semites. And to oppose the wars doesn't make you an anti-Semite. You're opposing genocide. How about anti-genocide encampments rather than anti-Semite? And no Jewish students have been attacked. The opposite way around. The Zionists attacked the students at UCLA. Beat them up. Cops never came. Took them 3 hours. Watched it all happen. Not one arrested, even though the photos and names of the people that did it. That's okay. It's the decline of civilization is in front of our eyes. Just like you weren't allowed to protest now against the genocide, you weren't allowed to protest against the COVID war. Brought to you by the Chinese on their Chinese Lunar New Year, the year of the rat, January 2020. They locked down the country, the world, destroyed the lives and livelihoods, spiritually, emotionally, physically, of billions of people with a made-up COVID war. Look at the data. 99.2% of the people are still alive over a period of 4 years. Yeah. And who died of COVID? People with pre-existing comorbidities. In America, the obesity capital of the world, look at the data. 61% of the 1 to 17-year-olds that were hospitalized, according to the CDC, were obese. But they robbed us of our rights. Banned. You're not allowed to speak out against the government. It's misinformation. And they're doing the exact same thing now when you're against the genocide being committed by Israel with our money, stealing our money to do this. And again, the billionaires and millionaires, not a penny for peace. Not a penny for peace. No. So you have articles, more guns and looser laws ravage Ohio City. Shootings have soared in Columbus since pandemic. And then you read headlines like in New York, women stabbed to death on Manhattan Street. Woman slashed at Lower East Side subway station. Innocent woman shot in leg while waiting for a bus in Brooklyn. One after another, day after day. War is deadly. Whether it's the COVID war, the Israel war, the Ukraine war, World War III has begun. Israel said they're not going to stop. They're going to go on beyond Rafah. They're going to be attacking Lebanon. They're going to be attacking more in Syria and possibly Iran. And they have the Samson option. When they lose, they go nuclear. And when they go nuclear, it's all over. Look how the world has not recovered from the COVID war. You think it's going to recover from a nuclear war? No way, no how. We're planning a major peace rally in September in Kingston, New York, at the Four Corners of Freedom, John and Crown Street. We'll let you know more about the date and the speakers. So far, Judge Andrew Napolitano will be one of them. So stay tuned, and please do what you can to make this happen. Donate to Occupy Peace or freedompeaceandjustice.com. Thank you.